After Joshua led the people of Israel into the Promised Land, he fought many battles to secure their settlement and conquer new cities. Under his leadership, Israel established control over much of Canaan. However, after Joshua's death, God did not appoint a leader to govern all the tribes, as the Israelites forgot God's instructions and turned to worship the local gods of Canaan. God raised judges, individuals from different tribes, to deliver the people from their enemies. These judges were not kings but temporary leaders, called to defend local tribe and people in times of crisis. However, since there was no central authority, the tribes often fought among themselves, leading to civil wars and internal strife. There was a famine. The people gathered at the tabernacle, crying out to God for relief. When they prayed, God sent rain and had good harvests, showing his mercy. The Israelites approached Samuel, the judge and high priest who had succeeded Eli, asking him to appoint a king who could lead them in battle. Though Samuel warned them of the consequences of monarchy, God instructed him to anoint Saul as Israel's first king. Saul led Israel in battle, expanding its territory and defending the people against enemies like the Philistines, Moabites, and Ammonites. In earlier times, the Israelites had carried the Ark of the Covenant into battle, believing it would bring them victory. However, during a war against the Philistines, Israel wrongly treated the Ark as a mere weapon, rather than honoring God's presence. As a result, the Philistines defeated Israel and captured the Ark, taking it to their cities. The Philistines placed the Ark in the temple of their god Dagon, but disaster struck. Their idol fell, and plagues spread through their land. Terrified, they decided to return the Ark to Israel, placing it on a cart pulled by oxen. When the Ark arrived at Beth Shemesh, some men looked inside it, violating its holiness, and were struck down by God. Fearing further judgment, the people sent the Ark to Abinadab's house in Kiriath Jearim, where it remained for many years. God was displeased with Saul's disobedience and instructed Samuel to anoint David as the next king of Israel. Though still a young shepherd, David was courageous and a skilled harp player. He was brought before Saul to play music, which soothed the king's troubled spirit and drove away the tormenting presence. During this time, the Philistines sent forth their champion, Goliath, a giant who mocked Israel and cursed the God of Israel, demanding that a man come forward to fight him. While the Israelites trembled in fear, David stepped forward, armed only with a sling and 5 stones, trusting in God's power. David struck Goliath on the forehead with a single stone, causing the giant to collapse. He then beheaded Goliath, securing victory for Israel. The people praised David, singing, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands." This comparison angered Saul, who saw David as a threat to his throne. Consumed by jealousy, Saul attempted to kill David multiple times, but David escaped each time, relying on God's protection. During the time Saul pursued David, God strengthened and protected him. Eventually, the Philistines defeated Saul and his family in battle, leading to a civil war between Saul's remaining supporters and David's followers. David was anointed king over Judah and ruled from Hebron for 7.5 years. Meanwhile, Saul's son Ishbosheth ruled the northern tribes, leading to a civil war. After Ishbosheth's assassination, the tribes of Israel united under David, and he was anointed king over all Israel. After the conflict, David rose as the king of Israel. As king, David strengthened his army and fought battles against Israel's enemies, securing the kingdom's borders. When he built the city of David, named after himself, he realized that the Ark of the Covenant was still in the house of Abinadab. Wanting to restore proper worship, he decided to bring the Ark to his new capital. David pitched a tabernacle next to his palace to house the Ark temporarily. Later, he purchased land on a mountain to build a permanent temple for God. God told David that his offspring will build the temple as the hands of David was filled with blood.